I recently moved back in with my parents, and so I did what anybody does in that situation and started looking through my room to see if I could find some memorabilia from when I was growing up. I found a couple boxes under my bed, and so I'm just gonna film myself looking through them. Maybe this will be interesting, maybe not, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it anyways. I had forgotten about this until this very moment, but when I was a really little kid, I used to do these like theater improv class things where we would go in and we would learn a few theater games, and then at the end our parents would come to pick us up and we'd have a little performance, or they'd have a story associated with the games that we were playing and have us play them. And this was when I was really little. I was probably like 3 or 4 years old. So it was just all these little kids playing improv games. What a weird thing. But anyways, I'm gonna cover up the name because I don't want to dox myself, but I got a little program. The drama games were footies. No idea what that is. And what am I doing? Also don't know what that is. Our characterization was old, and we pantomimed eating a very cheesy pizza. And then there's just a whole summary of the story that we acted out. That is so cute. Beautiful drawing. My family is nice, spelled with an S. I don't know if you can see that. I think this is my dad, this is my mom, this is my sister probably, and I think this was going to be me, and I either gave up or ran out of time. Lots of Jesus stuff, so that's cool. Nobody in my family is religious, so not sure why we have those. Look at this. This is a drawing that I made of myself in kindergarten. Look at me, look at those top buns. So great. Here's all about me, and that's me, and that's my old dog Kirby. My name is Claire, I like it, accompanied with this horrifying drawing. Look at this. My pet is a dog, and there he is again, there's Kirby. Get a real good sense of what he looked like from my 6-year-old drawing. I think this is maybe the draft of the book, because the words here were typed, and here I have my name is Claire and I like it, with another terrifying drawing of myself. There's a wanted poster for a friend. I actually remember making this, which is insane. This was a project in 1st grade. We had to write down a bunch of qualities that we wanted in a friend. So this, my elementary school had this thing called Celebrating Cultural Connections, where every year we would do just like a deep dive into a social studies unit, and pretty much every class that we had, we would be doing something related to the unit. It would end with a whole day just dedicated to it, and we would all come to school dressed up in costumes and basically act it out. And one year the unit was Ellis Island, and so we were all put into little families and told which country we were coming from, and then we kind of pretended like we were immigrating through Ellis Island in the early 1900s. And part of that was keeping a journal. My name was Inga Schmidt. I was from Germany. I was the mother of my family. Okay, I'm gonna cover up this picture because I don't want to show pictures of my classmates if they don't want to be seen, but here's me. Look how sad I look. They told us to look sad. They were like, it was really hard to immigrate. You need to look sad. Look at me. Oh, that is so precious. We have a family photo underneath and all of us look miserable. Entry number 1. I live in Germany. At nighttime, I count the stars as they pop out. At dawn, I watch the sun come up. It looks so beautiful. There are a lot of mountains. We are grocers. I have 2 children, one is a boy and one is a girl. I love Germany, but I have to leave because there's a war going on. So that's dark already. My family is in Germany. We are leaving because there's a war going on. I'm really, 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 really sad about it. I can't even read what the rest of this entry says. Oh my god, wait. I thought this was just a picture of our house. There's our house and a mountain. And then I realized right here is a bomb. There's a bomb falling on our house. The last entry. I feel really happy that we reached America. My husband is happy because we reached America. Grandpa is happy because we reached America. Hannah is happy that we reached America. Jacob is happy that we reached America. Grandpa is also a little sad because he has smallpox. Oh no. Oh no. Hi, my name is Claire and I'm a recovering weeb. So we've made it to middle school. This is just my science notebook. Why is my science notebook all decked out with anime characters? Because I never decorated any of my notebooks or my folders. I just never did. So what is the meaning of this? It looks like all that's left in this box is just notes, and none of that's very interesting to look at, so I'm gonna go grab another box now. It looks like this box is all stuff from high school, and then I know that the last box is all of my high school yearbooks, so probably no more cute little kid stuff, but it might dig up some old memories from high school, some interesting stories. Oh, got some old marching band sheet music. What a nightmare. An old band folder. Star Wars The Force Awakens. I don't remember playing that, but I guess we did. Every year my school would have a solo and ensemble festival, and there was one year that the band teachers required you to participate. And so I played French horn, and it was me and a few of the other French horn players doing a quartet. It didn't go well, because none of us cared. None of us wanted to do it. None of us cared about band. It was a nightmare. I don't remember what score we got, but I remember doing it, and all of us were like, why are we here? What are we doing? What is this? I have a medal. I don't know what it's for. I won a state award for having good grades, I guess. I don't remember this. Also, I say I won a state. It's not like I was the only student. I'm pretty sure it was like a program that a bunch of kids get accepted to. Because if I was the only winner, I would hope that I would have remembered it. Oh, wait. Now I'm really confused. Because I was looking through some of these awards, and it's, you know, like keeping a 3.5 GPA, whatever, and I'm like, yeah, I did that. But the award that I got was a service award, which you had to be nominated for. What teacher nominated me for this award? I don't remember ever standing out in a class. I got good grades and stuff, but I never like participated. I never had a good relationship with a teacher. I never had a bad relationship. Well, it's not like I was routinely had bad relationships with teachers, but I wasn't like close with any of my teachers. Who nominated me? This is a mystery. Anyways, we'll never know, so guess I'll just move on. There were some old scripts and sheet music and things like that in there, but I didn't really have anything to say about that, so I am now going to go grab my old yearbooks and I'll have a look through them. I'm gonna go in order from freshman year to senior year. Also, I'm just now realizing that I'm wearing my senior shirt from high school. That was unintentional, but fitting. Also, these yearbooks are huge because I went to a really big school. So if you hear me struggling to hold it, that's why. There are a lot of notes. I'll definitely have to read through these, but first, I'm gonna try to find pictures of me. Also, school is so huge that our yearbook has an index, which is great for me because it makes it super easy to find my pictures. The first picture I'm not gonna show because it's a group picture, but it's from when I was on the pom squad, which is something that I forget all the time because I only did it my freshman year. I love the dancing. It's not like me and the other girls on the squad didn't get along, but we definitely didn't like click. Like we weren't friends. And that was sort of a big part of it. And then at the end of my freshman year, I tried out for a play and I made it in. And then I was like, oh, I like this way more. I don't necessarily like acting more than I like dancing, because dancing was like such a huge part of my life and I loved it so much. and I've definitely done more dancing since leaving high school than I have theater, but I just like the people in theater more, and so that's what I ended up doing. But I was on the pom squad for a year. Oh, and the other picture is from choir. Cute. But I wanted to find my my actual picture. I feel like I look exactly the same. My hair is longer now than it was back then, which in an ideal world my hair would still be the same length because I hate having long hair, but we're in a pandemic and so I can't get it cut. I'll try to block out everybody else, but there I am. Little, 14-year-old me. I don't look through the notes now. A lot of the notes, like, I'll hold it far away so hopefully nobody can read it, but you can see that people wrote a lot, and that was pretty standard in my high school. Like, it wasn't just like hags, it was actually pretty personal to write a note in somebody's yearbook. So I don't know how many of these I'm going to read out loud, but I'm going to read them for myself, and if there's anything interesting that I feel comfortable sharing, then I will. I'm editing this right now. In this next bit, I talk about a note from one of my friends from high school, and I bring it up again a little bit later on, and I address this person using she, her pronouns. Since I filmed this video, they've come out as non-binary, and I would have just felt really weird and bad if I didn't address it. So even though I'm saying she, her, their pronouns are they, them, and that's just me addressing it because I would have felt bad otherwise. Anyways, let's get back to it. If you want an indication of what I was like my freshman year of high school, one of these notes said, "I'm so glad that I got to know you this year. We both love our YouTubers, Doctor Who and Star Kid." Most of that still sums me up. I haven't watched Doctor Who in a long time, but YouTube and Star Kid's still very much part of my life. I actually remember meeting her in one of my classes because we had a mutual friend. And then at some point, I think I mentioned watching Dan and Phil, and she was like, "You watch Dan and Phil? I watch Dan and Phil." And then we like immediately became friends. And we actually stayed friends throughout high school. I'm sure that she's written a note in every one of my yearbooks. She also says, "We have to hang out this summer, maybe even go to a Star Kids show together." We did not go to a Star Kids show together, but that summer we did both go to see Twisted. Separately, we went on different days, but we both saw Twisted live and then like fangirled about it. We were in the same summer school class, so I think I saw it first, and then once she saw it, she was like, "I've seen it now, and now we need to talk about it." There's a note from my science teacher for my freshman year that's very sweet. He was a great teacher. And he also compliments my humor in the note, which is shocking because I feel like I never talked, but thank you to my freshman year science teacher for thinking I'm funny. That's about it for the freshman yearbook. So now let's go on to sophomore year. Whoa, there's stuff falling out of it. What's happening? There's a note from my Spanish teacher. She wrote for the whole class and made copies of it so that she could give it to us all. It's in cursive, and so it's very difficult to read, but it's very nice. And I remember loving that class. That was such a fun class. She's such a great teacher. The camera might have moved slightly because I tried to show my picture and then knocked over my phone, and so if the angle is different, that's why. There's my picture. That was very blurry, but whatever, you get it. I look exactly the same. And then the pictures I was in for this year was choir again, and then the theater board. That pretty much sums up all of high school for me. There's not very many notes in this one. Covering up names again, but what? There's this picture. I have no idea what that means. I'm sure that was an inside joke that I've since forgotten about. The caption is L-boner. I thought it said Hellboner, but I'm now realizing that that's a hashtag. Not much happening in the sophomore year folder. I didn't do much my sophomore year, if I'm being honest. I was like trying to get into theater, but it wasn't really working out. I was in the cast of one show, and then I kept trying to get on a cruise, but I couldn't because the crew managers definitely played favorites and had a tendency to just ask their friends to be on the crew, and so whenever I'd be like, "I want to do crew," they'd be like, "We don't have any spots." And so I was kind of just aimlessly floating my sophomore year. But the one play that I was in the cast of was a good time, and I'm still friends with a lot of the people from that cast, so I guess it kind of worked out. On to junior year. There's the yearbook picture. Again, super blurry, and again, I look exactly the same. I do think the hair is longer here, so you can really tell how exactly the same I look. I do think this is the first yearbook picture of mine where I have braces, because I got braces my sophomore year, I think. Maybe I got them my freshman year. I don't remember. I wasn't paying attention to my sophomore picture to see if I had braces or not. That's really the only thing that looks different about me from high school. Otherwise, I look exactly the same. And then I'm once again in the theater board picture. No choir picture this year because I actually didn't do choir my junior year. Choir was a class as opposed to a club. And so I didn't have enough room in my class schedule, and so I had to skip out on it. And junior year is the year that I started getting more involved with theater. I actually made it onto the crew a few times, and then I think I was cast in 2 shows, I want to say. But really, more importantly, that's when I started like really befriending people in theater, which is, at least at my school, that was the way to get involved, was to be friends with people who were in charge of crew so that they would put you on their crew. Yeah, and then at the end of senior year, I was chosen to be a crew manager, which shows how hard it was to get on crew, because I think I had only done crew probably twice, and they asked me to be a manager. So if that's not an indication of how bad of a system it was, I don't know what is. Oh my gosh. I have a note from these 2 girls from my Spanish class that we were like inseparable junior year, and I totally forgot about it. We would talk to each other all the time, and Spanish was so much fun because it was like the 3 of us together in this like power group in our Spanish class. One of them I sort of kept talking to afterwards because she was in theater, but she graduated, so we still didn't really talk that much after this year. But the other one I literally have not talked to at all since my junior year of high school. I kind of forgot that she existed until right now. But we were so tight. Good times. On to my senior year, last yearbook, got lots of notes in this one. Because it was senior year. Also, senior year is probably when I had the most amount of friends. But also a lot of it was just like, this is it. Like, we might never see each other again. Oh my god. How could I have forgotten about this? This is such a terrible picture. They caught a picture of me. It's only of me. It's a close-up shot of me playing my mellophone. Whoa, playing my mellophone in the marching band. This is me right here. That's amazing. I totally forgot about that. I love that. I love that so much. Is my senior picture. Yes, I did have braces for my senior picture. I was thrilled about it. They had us do like a soft smile picture and then a real smile picture when they were doing them. And I tried to convince my mom to choose a soft smile picture because I was insecure about the fact that I had braces in my senior photo, and she didn't. But we did order some like printed copies to have, and there's one in a picture frame downstairs, and in the printed copies, they photoshopped out the bracelet. I was looking at it the other day and I was like, I'm pretty sure I had braces when I took those photos, but there's none in this picture, but there is in the yearbook. The other thing is that when they were putting together the yearbook, they had all the seniors fill out a sheet where they had a bunch of questions where it was like 1 word to describe the school and like who were the best teachers. They featured some of their favorite answers at the bottom of the pages for all the seniors. And one of mine got in. It was for best inside joke, so it's not gonna make sense to any of you. But if anybody's curious, my answer was at 6 we clean up. I'm not gonna explain it, but that was a banger joke when I was a senior in high school. I didn't win any superlatives, but I feel like it's necessary for me to look at the superlatives because I kind of forgot that they existed until I accidentally flipped to a page with superlatives on them. We had a superlative for best tweet. I was not aware of this. and don't know why we had it, because we have like a class clown. Like, class clown makes sense. Best tweets was one of our superlatives. Anyways, best exes. I don't know either of those people. That's hilarious though, that there's a best exes superlative. I always found it weird that there's a best couple superlative, because like nobody stays together after high school. We have a best couple one. I don't know who either of them are. I can't imagine that they're still together. Although there are some couples that I knew in high school who are still together now. Some of them are engaged, which is crazy. I'm actually shocked at how many of the superlative winners I know, because my school was huge. It was huge, and definitely the majority of the people in my grade I probably never met. So it's crazy to me how many of these I'm looking at, and I'm like, yeah, I know who that is. These pictures are also very cute. I would show them, but I'm not gonna show people's names and pictures on the internet without their permission. On to the notes now. What are this just? I haven't really done too much with you, but from what I've seen, you're a really awesome person. Thanks, man. Yeah, speaking of the girl from my freshman year notebook where I was like, we just fangirled about like Dan and Phil and Star Kids, you wrote a note here being like, remember freshman year when we would just like fangirl over YouTubers? There's a note from my best friend from middle school, and we kind of stopped talking to each other in high school. Nothing bad happened, but we just made other friends and kind of drifted apart. But there's a note from her, and that's so sweet. That's so sweet. I don't remember talking to her to get the note, but that is, I'm gonna cry. That's such a nice thing to have. All of these notes are very sweet. And like all the notes that I've gotten have been nice, but most of them had some sort of like inside joke or whatever, but most of these are just genuinely really heartfelt and nice. And I think it's because it was senior year, we were all saying goodbye to each other. As I said, I didn't really get involved with theater until my senior year. I started getting a little bit more involved junior year, but senior year is when I like really got involved and like really became friends with the people in theaters. That's also part of the reason why all of these notes are so long and sweet and like heartfelt, is because we were genuinely all very close with each other and kind of distressed that like we were all going away to different schools. So yeah, not very many inside jokes in those last few notes, but it was very nice to look back at. I'd also like to point out that my senior year I had a boyfriend, and he did not sign my yearbook, which I do vaguely remember that we just like never got around to signing each other's yearbooks, which at the time was like kind of upsetting, because I was like, I want to know from my boyfriends, I want to like remember this, whatever, and now I'm like, thank God I don't have a signature from him. He was the worst. That is very funny that he's just, there's no trace of him in my yearbook. I think I've looked through everything. If I were to really dig in my room, I could probably find more stuff, but particularly more stuff from when I was like a little kid. But I don't know. I've been filming for an hour. I think I've done enough. This was a nice trip down memory lane for me. I don't know if it was very interesting for anybody else. Regardless, I had a good time. It's nice to keep these things if you have old stuff from when you're a kid. Like, don't throw it away, because someday you might have a good time kind of looking back on all of it and whatever. This was fun.